What is going on, guys? This is Eastleigh Jackets here with your 2014 NBA Finals predictions. We have the Miami Heat squaring off against the San Antonio Spurs in a rematch of last year's finals. The Heat defeated the Indiana Pacers in 6 games to advance to the NBA Finals, and the Spurs defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder in 6 games to advance to the finals. And this is a very highly anticipated finals rematch right here. As you guys know, the Miami Heat won last year in Game 7 on their home court after Ray Allen hit the three-pointer in the corner in Game 6 to send it to overtime. So, a lot of people are saying, this is the Spurs' chance for revenge. Other people are saying, this is the Heat's chance, to get a first three-peat since Kobe Bryant and the Lakers in the early 2000s. And, a lot of legacy on the line. Tim Duncan could potentially get his 5th championship ring and go to the finals. 15 years apart. That's an awesome accomplishment there. LeBron, on the other hand, can step closer to, the greatness that he desires. As you guys know, if LeBron loses this finals, he would fall to, 2 and 3 all time in the NBA Finals. I don't really like to count 2007 when he played with the Cavs because, if you watch that, would you count that either? LeBron literally had to have back surgery after the 2007 Finals from carrying that team the entire year. But now we're seeing a different LeBron, a different Miami Heat team. Not too much different from last year besides the fact that they lost Mike Miller, who, people are making a really big deal out of. He did hit some clutch three-pointers down the stretch in that series. Him, Ray Allen, and Shane Battier. Now, as for predictions with this series, it's going to be a hard-fought series either way. The Spurs have the advantage mainly with depth, their bench, experience. They got some savvy veterans, and they have some really good three-point shooters as well. Now, obviously, the Miami Heat have won back-to-back finals, and they have the greatest basketball player in the world, being LeBron James. Now, I'm going to break down my reasoning, my prediction, who I think will win how many games, and why that is the case. Now, the thing with this series, the Heat and the Spurs, the thing is, if you make this series X's and O's, a game of X's and O's, the Spurs clearly have the advantage, okay? They have, like I said, more depth on their team, good offensive game plan, they can space the floor, get contributions no matter who's on the floor. Now, my prediction for this series is that the Heat will win in 6 games. Now, don't already start typing your crazy comments because I picked the Heat to win. Don't say, I'm some kind of Heat bandwagon fan, people, whatever. Okay. For me, this series is less about X's and O's and more about what's going on in the real time. So the main reasons that I'm picking the Heat to win this series is Tony Parker is coming off an ankle injury, and Tony Parker is a huge part of this Spurs team. Because personally, I think Tim Duncan will average a double-double. He might average a double-double. He's going to get his. You see what I'm saying? Tim Duncan is going to get his either way because Bosh can't guard Tim Duncan. Birdman's going to do his best. Regardless, Tim Duncan's still going to, grab rebounds out the butt and, put up points. But in order to win this series, the Spurs need Tony Parker because Mario Chalmers, as you just saw in that clip right there, can't really always keep up with Tony Parker. And Tony Parker is who the Spurs need to, be that X factor. Because really, you can have all these people shooting threes for the Spurs. Personally, I don't think Danny Green's going to shoot 60% from 3 like he did last year. When you think about it, Danny Green was in the conversation for MVP last year, but if the Spurs would have won, but the Heat won. So, they're really going to need Ginobili also to offset, what the Heat are producing just from LeBron and Wade. Because you can have all these other people producing for the Heat, but, they're going to need more production. But with Tony Parker's ankle, it's very, very questionable. They're going to need him at full strength, 100%, to beat this Miami Heat team. Another reason that I'm picking the Heat to win, they have a healthy Dwayne Wade this year. And if you watch the finals last year, Dwayne Wade, had really, really, really bad knees. And, people were saying, Dwayne Wade's declining. Well, no. Because if you know basketball and if you watch Dwayne Wade so far these playoffs, you would know that he is playing absolutely great. Okay, he is shooting almost 60% from the field maybe like 50-something%. But anyway, a new career high from the field this season. And he shot like 40-something% from the three-point line against the Pacers in that series. And that's, unheard of. Dwayne Wade is not even a three-point shooter. So a healthy Dwayne Wade really has the advantage towards Miami because LeBron and Dwayne Wade can create offensively regardless of who's guarding them. Now, this is another reason I'm picking the Heat is because the Spurs are coming off a 6-game series against the most athletic team in the league, being the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, people bring up the argument, well, the Thunder are young, but the Spurs still beat them. Don't say the Spurs are old, blah, blah, blah. Not really saying that, but to have, Kawhi Leonard chase around Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant for 6 games, and Danny Green chase around Westbrook and Durant for 6 games, you can't expect the Spurs to have as much full energy. When you go back to last year's finals, the Spurs swept the Memphis Grizzlies in 4 games. They came into the finals with everything they had, everybody healthy, ready to go. The Miami Heat just came off a 7-game series with the Indiana Pacers and had like no days to rest. So you got to realize this is a different Heat team that's coming into this finals. You got to realize that this makes a difference in the NBA for a team to come off a 7-game series and a team to come off a sweep and to meet in the finals. That's going to make a pretty big difference. So, obviously, OKC didn't have a very good offensive game plan going up against the Spurs. I don't know if that's because of their coach, Scott Brooks, or just because, I don't know what that deal is. But the Heat don't have that problem. So if you're going to say, well, the Spurs beat the Thunder and they're young and they run them, well, no. This is different. The Heat are much better in transition and much more composed down the stretch. They've been here before and they know what to expect. Now, I personally think that Miami will take probably game 2 or something on the road. One of those games they'll steal in San Antonio as the finals format switches here to 2-2-1-1-1, and they'll close it out in game 6 on their home court to capture the three-peat. Now, I also think the Spurs have a very, very, very good chance of pushing it to a game 7. And if it's a game 7, it could go either way in San Antonio, but that will has yet to be seen. So really, I think that Tim Duncan's going to do great, but with Tony Parker's ankle injuries, it's really iffy for the Spurs throughout this long series. A healthy Dwayne Wade, as you can see, he's player of the game, is going to help the Miami Heat prevail. And also keep in mind LeBron James averaged last year nearly 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. Those are fantastic numbers, and to say that he's going to come back this year and do less is, I'd have to question why you would think that, because, he's gotten even better as the best basketball player on earth. So that's my predictions for the 2014 NBA Finals, guys. Thanks for watching. This is Eastleigh Jackets. Please hit the subscribe button, thumbs up button. I'm out of here.